What images pop into your head when you think of Mulan? What moments or images stand out the most? A courageous warrior forged in battle, a filial daughter driven by love, and the unforgettable sass of Mushu, the tiny dragon with a big attitude from Disney movie. The story of Hua Mulan, the woman who disguised herself as a man to take her elderly father's place in the army, has been told and retold for centuries. So where did this legendary tale truly come from? Was it born from real history, or shaped into a beautiful myth that has inspired generations for over 1500 years? Let's dive deep into the history, the poetry, and the enduring legacy of the real Mulan. This journey starts not in the pages of history, but in the lines of a poem. The story of Mulan was first told through a northern folk ballad, passed down through generations, and southern dynasties period in China, around the 4th to 6th centuries. It's called the Ballad of Mulan. It was an era of chaos, defined by constant conflict and battles between competing states in China. The poem opens with a quiet, familiar moment. Mulan sits at her loom, softly sighing. She isn't sighing over love or heartbreak. Her worry comes from the military draft notices she's seen. Clear in narrative. A massive conscription is underway. By the Khan's command, each family must send one man to fight.
Her father is old and frail, and her younger brother is just a child. She has no older brother. So, in a moment of incredible courage and love for her family, she makes a decision. She will go in his place. Ballad describes her preparations. She buys a fine horse from the East Market, a saddle from the West, a bridle from the South, and a long whip from the North. These lines vividly paint a picture of a determined young woman preparing for the unknown. She says goodbye to her parents, who are heartbroken. The poem powerfully contrasts the sounds of her departure with the silence of her family's grief.
It says, at dawn, she takes leave of her parents. At dusk, she camps by the Yellow River's shore.
She no longer hears her parents' calls, only the river's rushing water.
It's a poignant image of her journey, going far away from everything she's ever known. For 12 enduring years, Mulan serves among the ranks, while the ballad glides past the clash of blades, lingering instead.
It simply says she traveled 1,000 leagues to war, and that passes and mountains were crossed like flying. The focus isn't on the gore of war, but on her endurance and dedication. She serves with distinction, and after a decade of brutal warfare, the war is finally won. Her accomplishments are so great that she is summoned before the Emperor, the Son of Heaven.
He offered to reward her loyalty with a prestigious post at court, an honors worthy of her years of service. And here's where Mulan's story takes another remarkable turn.
Instead of accepting the fame and fortune she has rightfully earned, she asks for nothing more than a swift horse to take her back home. Her only desire is to return to her family. This refusal of power and status is a key part of her character. It emphasizes that her actions were motivated purely by love and duty, not by personal ambition. When she finally arrives home, her family is overjoyed. Her parents come out to support her. Her older sister puts on her finest clothes, and her younger brother sharpens a knife to prepare a feast. Then comes the story's most iconic moment. Mulan goes into her room, takes off her soldier's armor, and puts on her old clothes. She does her hair, puts a flower in it, and walks out to greet her comrades who had escorted her home. They are absolutely stunned. For 12 years, they fought side by side with Mulan, and not a single one of them had ever guessed she was a woman. The ballad ends with a clever metaphor. The male rabbit's feet paw and kick. The female rabbit's eyes are blurred and dim. But when the two rabbits run side by side, who can tell the female from the male? It's a beautiful message about equality and how appearances can be deceiving. So, the big question remains, was Mulan a real person? The short answer is, we don't know for sure. There are no historical records from that period that mention a female soldier named Hua Mulan. The Ballad of Mulan is the only primary source, and it's a folk song which often blends fact with fiction.
Even her name carries meaning. Mulan, magnolia, evokes a flower long associated in Chinese culture with grace, purity, and quiet nobility. Her family name, Hua, which means flower, was likely added in later retellings to make the story even more
Some
poetic.
historians have tried to find a real-life basis for the legend.
They gesture toward the world of the Northern Wei dynasty, an age when northern nomadic traditions intertwined with Han Chinese culture, blending customs, values, and ways of life into a shared historical tapestry. The rulers of the Northern Wei were of the Tuoba clan, a people known for being more liberal in their views on women's roles, compared to the more traditional Han Chinese. There are even some records of Tuoba women riding horses and fighting. So, while Mulan herself might be a fictional character, the idea of a woman warrior might not have been as far-fetched then as it would have been in other periods of Chinese history. Yet the question of her historical reality fades into insignificance beside the power of her story. Mulan's story has survived for over 1,500 years because it resonates so deeply. Beyond a simple chronicle of a warrior's path, this is a profound meditation on filial piety, the sacred heartbeat of Confucian ethics. Her first and foremost motivation is to protect her father.
This makes her relatable and admirable within that cultural context.
At the same time, she also breaks traditional gender roles.
She proves that a woman can be just as capable, brave, and honorable as any man on the battlefield.
She's a perfect blend of tradition and rebellion.
But over the centuries, Mulan's story was adapted and embellished. During the Ming Dynasty, a playwright named Su Wei wrote a play called The Heroine Mulan Goes to War in her father's place. This play added more details, like Mulan's skill in martial arts from a young age, and even a romantic subplot, which was absent in the original ballad. A novel from the Qing dynasty, Sui Tang Romance, also included her story, solidifying her status as a national folk hero. Each generation has retold her story, adding new layers and emphasizing different themes that were relevant to their own time.
This transition leads us to the most recognizable in the vivid, cinematic reimagining brought to life by Disney. The 1998 animated film introduced Mulan to a global audience. Of course, Disney took some creative liberties. They added the hilarious guardian dragon Mushu, a lucky cricket, and a catchy soundtrack. The traditional pillar of filial piety is complemented and at times overshadowed, reimagining Mulan as a woman striving to claim her place in a world that never expected her to lead. In the Disney version, Mulan struggles with societal expectations of what a good daughter should be, and her decision to join the army is also a way for her to find her own identity. This version resonated strongly with modern audiences, turning Mulan into a feminist icon for a new generation. The 2020 reimagining cast aside the vibrant spectacle of the musical to better honor the gravity of the ancient poem, trading song and dance for a starker, more reverent portrayal of the warrior's journey and Mushu, and focusing more on the themes of loyalty, bravery, and a more serious tone of warfare. It emphasized her connection to Qi, or life force, presenting her skills as something almost supernatural. This too is a reinterpretation, showing how Mulan's story is constantly evolving to fit new cinematic styles and audience expectations.
What's truly amazing is how this one poem has inspired so many different interpretations. Mulan is not a static character set in stone. She is a symbol that can represent many things: filial devotion, national loyalty, female empowerment, and the courage to be true to oneself. She challenges our ideas about gender, duty, and honor. The Ballad of Mulan doesn't give us a physical description of her. We don't know if she was tall or short, beautiful or plain. This ambiguity is part of her power. It allows every person who hears her story to see a piece of themselves in her. She's not a hero because of her looks or her strength alone, but because of her choices. The choice to protect her family, the choice to endure hardship, and the choice to remain humble in victory. In the end, the search for the real Mulan might be a quest for something that was never meant to be found in a history book. Her truth lies in the enduring power of her story. It's a story that has been passed down through generations, across dynasties, and over oceans. It reminds us that heroism isn't defined by gender, but by courage, love, and self-sacrifice. Whether she was a real woman or a poetic ideal, Mulan's legacy is very real. She is a testament to the power of a single individual to defy expectations and change the world, one courageous act at a time. And that's a story that will always be worth telling. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the story behind the legend, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into history and culture. Let us know in the comments what other legends you'd like us to explore. Until next time.